going on, guys? A little boot video for you. As any have been watching for a while know, I'm or have become a really big fan of my Danner Tannicus boots. I've got the waterproof pair and the hot weather pair. Those have really, they've kind of pushed all my other boots to the side and have really taken over my favorites. The only exception to that is I'm excuse me, still a big fan of my Blackhawk boots. Crazy as that may sound, those are still stupid comfortable and stupid lightweight, and I really just love them. But for most of my serious outdoor stuff, the Danners are my go-tos. However, I wanted to have an alternate excuse me, to the Blackhawks, so that I had a set that was more of my more rural woodland boots, and then a set, by set I mean two pair, that were more urbanish kind of boots, if that makes any sense. So, finger hurts. Sorry. What I ended up picking up was a set of the McRae Terrassault Freedom boots. Now, these boots have some similarities and some difference to the Blackhawks that I like. They are lighter weight than the Danners, not by a lot, but you know, if you want to get picky and count ounces, technically they are a little bit lighter weight. And this is the boot. Okay. Turn around and show you. Now, the Blackhawk boots that I've got, that go back and watch the old video one, are just standard pair of boots. They're not really waterproof. They don't have like a Gore-Tex lining or anything like that. But they're not vented either. They do a pretty good job of keeping the water out unless you just really submerge them and soak them. But I wanted a vented pair for warmer weather. Well, that's where these McRae's come in. You'll notice, instead of like a lot of boots, instead of having two metal vent holes right here, they've got this little plastic insert that's got mesh in it, and that's your vent, which, you know, I thought was kind of different, and maybe it worked better, maybe it wouldn't work better than your classic double vents. Another thing I liked about these was, believe it or not, the sole. This is the same Vibram sole. I think it's called the Mutant sole. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that. That the Blackhawk boots have. For a urban type sole, I really like this. It gives a lot of traction without clogging up and being real thumpy and noisy, or even squeaky on, like, you know, wet ground. So I've been wearing these for, geez, a couple months now. I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but they're a bit dirty and stained up and worn in. And I wanted to kind of get some time with them before I showed them off to you guys. They've got a couple of cool features that I like, such as right here where the instep area is at, and on the back just above your heel, that's kind of like a neoprene area that lets it kind of flex a little bit and not bind up as your foot articulates when you're walking, which I like. Overall, I like the boots. I'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. I do have a couple of concerns / druthers, maybe. Let's talk about what I do like. We'll go from there. Obviously, I like the sole. The vented part, can't tell that it's any worse, and it's definitely, excuse me, I can't tell that it's any better, and it's definitely not any worse than just your classic two metallic vents. So, that's neither here nor there. It works. I haven't ever had my feet get overly hot in them. I haven't had any problems with the vents. The laces are kind of interesting. At first, when I got them, you know, at first I kind of thought that the way the laces are kind of funny shaped was just because it may be twisted up, but it's not. They are intentionally made with that irregular shape to it, and as it goes through the laces, you can see it'll kind of twist and turn and roll around. But what ends up happening is they're definitely not speed lace boots. You actually have to reach down and grab them and pull them and lace them up, because they don't just slide through the eyelets. So once you tighten it down, it pretty much stays tightened down, which can be a good thing, because if it unties up top or something, there's not a whole lot of chance of it coming loose on you just, you know, randomly from you moving. Makes it a little bit more of a hassle trying to get them laced and unlaced to get them on and off, but you know, an interesting feature nonetheless. They lock in the eyelets pretty good. One small issue, and I don't even know if it's an issue because it could just be me, is the fit. They fit pretty good. I got the same size in these that I do in my Danners, which is an 11.5. And if you hold them up boot to boot, they pretty much are the same. In fact, I'll see if I can show you. They're pretty much identical if I get them just right, with the McRae's maybe being, I don't know, a quarter of an inch longer maybe. In case y'all wonder what I'm talking about, that's your typical double vent. My issue is they feel like they're a little bit on the wide side, like even with thicker, heavier socks on. I got a little bit of side-to-side movement. Initially, I thought that may be a concern for getting blisters. So far, it hasn't been. I don't know if that's just because it's not an issue with these, or if it's because of the socks I'm using. I've pretty much went straight to covert thread socks, which you've seen me do videos on those before, and I will keep talking about them, because ever since I went to covert thread socks, I have not gotten blisters. My feet are just so much happier in covert threads socks. I'm just saying, I will, unless something catastrophic happens, I will keep plugging them. In fact, probably need to do a video because I got some new ones. So, and they feel a little bit long. Let me go back to the size. So they feel a little bit sloppy side to side and a little bit long, but I'm afraid if I went down a size to shorten them a little bit, or to try to narrow them, because these are regular width, not wide width, I'm worried that I would start getting an issue of my toes bumping into the end of the toe box, especially on uneven ground where your foot wants to try to slide forward in the boot. I don't like having my toes crammed into the front of the boot when you're moving like that. It's just not good. That's the minor druther. The only other druther per se I've got, and believe it or not, it's only on one boot. It's on my right boot. The left boot's fine, but the right one, for whatever reason, and I'll try to show this to you. I don't know how well you can pick it up on camera, but right here where my finger's at. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that little bit of where this stitch line's at, where it folds in right there? When I get the boot on, I'm walking this area there. You can see it right. You see how this is kind of indented in, and this side's more flat? This right here wants to push in right above my ankle bone. And again, it hasn't caused any blisters or anything, but it definitely gets uncomfortable because it really puts kind of a sharp edge right on the top part of my ankle bone right there. So I'm not 100% sold on these. Again, that could be just an anomaly with that individual boot because it doesn't do it on the left side. It could just be me. I don't know. So, long story short, for the most part, I like these boots. I think they're a good option, especially for the price point. So far, they've held up well. I'll keep running them and see. I don't think they're going to unseat my Danners. My Danner Tannicus are still going to be these are still my top of the line go-to, well-worn, happy feet prized boots for now. But if these were the only ones I had to run, I wouldn't feel uncomfortable about it. Now, again, that one issue right here, that may go away with another month or two of wearing. I don't know. We'll find out and see. So, without rambling on for another half hour about a pair of boots, I mean, because we can only talk so much about them, right? That's just a little quick debut update, whatever you want to call it, on these McRae Terrassault Freedom boots. I'm going to keep trying them. If anything else develops, I'll let you know. Again, with a price point, which I did mention already, they generally run about $120, give or take. So that's a pretty good price point for the most part to get a decent pair of boots. Obviously, you can go way higher, and there's obviously lower price models. There are some lower priced ones out there that I've had my eye on, but I'm a little skeptical to try them. I don't know if that's the right word or not, because honestly I don't need any more boots. I'm really happy with what I got, but at the same time I like being able to show stuff to you guys, especially that is decent quality, but maybe more of a budget price for those of you on a tight budget, because believe me, I'm all about the whole tight budget thing. I'm well familiar with it, live it daily. So anyway, take care guys. We'll close out on that one for this, and stay safe, keep preparing, and we'll talk to you in the next one.